Hello friends, it's me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to our channel. Today let's journey back in time to meet a pope who led the church during one of its most broken and chaotic periods. We're talking about Pope Saint Marcellus I, a man whose time as pope was short, but whose courage and conviction left a lasting mark. His feast day is January 16th, and his story is a powerful lesson in leadership, forgiveness, and standing firm when everything seems to be falling apart. Imagine a world where everything you believe in is under attack. Churches are destroyed, sacred books are burned, and your friends and neighbors are being arrested simply for their faith. This was the reality for Christians under the Roman Emperor Diocletian. It was one of the most severe persecutions in history. Many Christians, faced with unimaginable choices, denied their faith to save their lives. Others became martyrs. The church was wounded, scattered, and deeply divided. After the persecution subsided, the church was left in a state of disarray. There was even a long period without a pope. Finally, in the year 308, a Roman priest named Marcellus was chosen to lead the shell-shocked Christian community. Not much is known about his early life. We believe he was born in Rome, but the details of his childhood and family are lost to history. What we do know is that he must have been a man of incredible faith and strength. To be chosen as pope during such a turbulent time shows just how much trust the people had in him. They saw in Marcellus a shepherd who could guide them through the darkness. As soon as he became pope, Marcellus faced an enormous challenge. What should be done with the lapsi? The Christians who had lapsed in their faith during the persecution, these people now wanted to come back. The community was torn. Some believed they should be welcomed back with open arms, no questions asked. Others argued they should be cast out forever for their weakness. Pope Marcellus chose a middle path, one that balanced mercy with accountability. He said that yes, they could return, but not without first showing true sorrow for what they had done. They needed to perform acts of penance to demonstrate their sincerity. This decision was not popular with everyone. Some of the lapsi were furious. They had powerful friends and didn't want to be publicly shamed. They felt Marcellus was being far too strict. On the other hand, a group of hardliners led by a man named Heraclius thought the Pope was being too soft. They believed that anyone who denied Christ could never be forgiven. Suddenly, Rome was filled with arguments, protests, and even riots among Christians. The very people Marcellus was trying to heal were now fighting each other in the streets. He was trying to bring order, but his actions inadvertently caused more chaos. While trying to manage this internal crisis, Marcellus also worked tirelessly to rebuild the church's structure. He reestablished parishes and administrative centers, it's known as tituli, which were essential for organizing the clergy and caring for the faithful. He was laying a new foundation for a church that had been nearly wiped out. He was trying to bring order, peace, and spiritual healing to his flock. But the constant unrest in Rome did not go unnoticed. The new emperor, Maxentius, was not a fan of this public disorder. He didn't particularly care about the theological debates. He just wanted peace in his city. Seeing Pope Marcellus as the source of the conflict, Maxentius decided to act. He blamed the Pope for the riots and banished him from Rome. The story of what happened next is tragic. According to ancient tradition, Maxentius didn't just send Marcellus into exile. As a cruel and humiliating punishment, he forced the Pope to work as a common laborer, a groom in the imperial stables. Can you imagine the head of the Christian church, a man of God, being forced to shovel manure and tend to horses? It was a punishment designed to break his spirit. But Marcellus's faith remained unshaken. He endured the hardship and humiliation with a strength that came from his deep love for Christ. Pope Marcellus did not survive this ordeal for long. Worn down by the brutal labor and the harsh conditions of his exile, he died in the year 309. He had been pope for only about a year filled with conflict, misunderstanding, and suffering. But in that short time, he stood as a pillar of unwavering faith. After his death, the church immediately recognized his sacrifice and courage. He was honored as a martyr and a saint, a testament to a leader who refused to compromise his principles, even when it cost him everything. He was buried in the cemetery of St. Priscilla in Rome, a place of honor. Because of the tradition about his final days, Saint Marcellus I became the patron saint of stablemen, grooms, and horses. So what can we learn from the life of Pope Saint Marcellus? His story is incredibly relevant for us today. First, it teaches us about the nature of true leadership. Marcellus became pope not when it was easy or popular, but when it was dangerous and difficult. He didn't shy away from making tough decisions, even when he knew they would be met with opposition. He teaches us that true leaders don't just seek to make everyone happy. They seek to do what is right and just, guided by truth and mercy. His approach to the lapsed Christians is a masterclass in balancing compassion with responsibility. In our own lives, we often swing between two extremes. Either we forgive too easily without any expectation of change, or we judge too harshly without any room for mercy. Marcellus shows us a better way. He welcomed people back, but he also insisted that they acknowledge their mistakes and commit to doing better. Real healing requires both grace and truth. It's a lesson we can apply in our families, friendships, and communities whenever a mistake has been made. Finally, the life of Saint Marcellus reminds us that we can't always control our circumstances, but we can always control our character. The Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "Character is destiny." Marcellus lived in a time of deep political and social division, much like our own. He couldn't stop the arguments or change the emperor's mind, but he could choose how he responded. He chose virtue. He chose courage. He chose mercy. Even when his life felt completely out of control, forced into a stable, he controlled his own integrity. His story asks us a powerful question. When the world around us feels chaotic and unstable, where do we place our focus? Do we get swept up in the drama, or do we focus on what we can control? Our own character, our own choices, our own faithfulness. Saint Marcellus shows us that by investing in our character, we invest in a better world, one decision at a time. His life proves that even a short period of faithful service can echo through eternity. He was a good shepherd who cared for his people no matter the cost, and his example continues to inspire us to be strong, faithful, and courageous, especially when life gets hard. Thank you so much for joining me to learn about the incredible life of Pope Saint Marcellus I. If his story of courage and conviction inspired you, please like and share this video and subscribe for more stories of the saints. Let us know in the comments what you learned from his life. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. Till next time, stay faithful, and God bless you always.